My name is Yao Ming. I'm a former NBA player born and raised in China. When I was active, I contributed to the team as a center, making the most of my height of 2 meters, 29 centimeters. Now, let's take a look back at my basketball career. In 1980, I was born in Shanghai to parents who were both former professional basketball players. My father is 208 centimeters tall. My mother is 188 centimeters tall, and they have a tall family, and I weighed 5 kilograms at birth. I started playing basketball when I was 9. When I measured my height at the age of 10, I had already reached 165 centimeters. How much will I grow from now on? I predict eventually you'll grow to about 2 meters and 21 centimeters. Really? Then I'll be taller than my dad. So the doctor's prediction wasn't out of line at this point. When I was 13, I joined the Shanghai Sharks junior team. After playing there for about 4 years, I made my debut as a Chinese professional basketball player at the age of 17. As a rookie, I averaged 10 points and 8 rebounds, and everyone, including me, expected a smooth sailing future. However, in my second year as a pro, I broke my left foot. In fact, this was the second time I broke my left leg. Thanks to this, I was not able to play many games that year. After this injury, my jumping ability dropped about 10 to 15 centimeters. Of course, in my case, I didn't need to jump much in matches, so I wasn't too worried about it at that time. In fact, after that, I was with the Shanghai Sharks. My career was going well. In both my third and fourth years, we were able to reach the finals, although we didn't win the league championship. In my fifth year, we won our first league championship as a team. I averaged 38.9 points and 20.2 rebounds, and I was able to make a strong impact on the Chinese basketball world. The Chinese league has been conquered. Next up, the home of basketball, the NBA. In 2002, the Shanghai Sharks approved my entry into the NBA. I would finally be taking my first step into the NBA. The day of the 2002 NBA draft, I attended the draft live from my home country. The Houston Rockets chose Yao Ming. We did it! The number 1 overall pick. At this moment, I became the first overseas player to be selected first overall in the NBA without playing for a college in the United States. This is how I arrived at my first NBA game. There were high expectations from my home country and from all over the United States, but the results were not good. Against the Indiana Pacers, I scored a whopping 0 point. I also had only 2 rebounds, which was a terrible result. This rookie is useless, he's just tall. Chinese people can't do anything. That's why I said we shouldn't have any Asians. Damn it, I'm not as good as this. Actually, I was not in good condition, as I had represented China at the World Championships just before this, and was not able to participate in the Rockets training. My poor condition continued for a while after this, and time passed without me being able to play satisfactorily. But in my 8th game in the NBA against the Lakers, Yao Ming is awakening. What a surprise! He sank all the shots he took and scored 20 points. Excellent! Unbelievable! This is it! This is the feeling. I'm going to keep going and going at this rate. As I steadily made my mark in the NBA in this way, the expectations of NBA fans all over the country rose. Then, in January 2003, the game against the Lakers with Shaquille O'Neal, who was considered the best center at that time, attracted a lot of attention. I was also excited to play with Shaq for the first time. After all, he's the one who won 3 consecutive championships for the Lakers. Right at the start of the game, I scored off Shaq with a shot up the middle. I was on the roll here, and I just... This is amazing! The rookie Yao blocked 4 of Shaq's shots. Yao is also doing a great job on the offense end, scoring well against Shaq. After an evenly matched game between the two teams, the game was a 92-92 dead heat with 12 seconds left. The game was tied and would go into overtime. In this final phase, I made a shot with 10 seconds left, giving the Rockets a 2-point lead, 104-102. And we held on to this lead until the very end. We had won the game. What an exciting player! You need to check him out. My popularity in the NBA world has skyrocketed since my fight with Shaq. I made an All-Star ballot as a rookie, receiving more than 250,000 more votes than Shaq, who at that time had won MVP 3 years in a row. That season, I averaged 13.5 points and 8.2 rebounds and was picked second in the Rookie of the Year voting. And the next year, I was named an All-Star for the 2nd year in a row. The Rockets went on to make the playoffs, which was my first playoff appearance. In the summer of 2004, Tracy McGrady, the league's leading scorer, joined the team in a trade. With this addition, expectations for the Rockets were raised even higher. In 2005, Tracy and I were both selected to the All-Star team. I received 2.55 million votes in this All-Star voting, breaking the record for most votes held by Michael Jordan. Continuing in this vein, the Rockets also made the playoffs for the 2nd year in a row. Although they lost in the first round, NBA fans were whispering the Rockets could win with the championships within a few years. What awaited us, however, was a never-ending downward spiral. I had only missed 2 games in the previous 3 years, but in 2005, I injured my left foot and had to have surgery. This caused me to miss 21 games. That same season, Tracy also missed 35 games due to a back injury, and the two of us were able to play together for only 31 games. Oh my god! Yao and Tracy are the heart and soul of the team. Without these two, the team won't be able to show what they're capable of. In this season, the Rockets only managed to win 34 games and failed to make the playoffs. However, this was only the beginning of the tragedy. In April 2006, I broke my left foot in a game against the Utah Jazz. This injury cost me 6 months of my life. The following season, I also broke my right knee after returning. That year, I was also rumored to be an MVP candidate among fans, but I didn't even make it to the All-Star game. In 2008, I found out that I had a fatigue fracture in my left leg. I made it to the Beijing Olympics but was not able to compete in the playoffs. The next season, for the first time in a long time, there were no major injuries and the Rockets were winning steadily. And we made it to the playoffs. Our opponent in the first round was the Portland Trail Blazers. On the first game, I scored 28 points to help my team win. We went on to win the rest of the games and made it to the second round of the playoffs, a first for me and a dream come true. The next team waiting for us was the Lakers, the number 1 seed. We were all convinced that if we won this battle, the NBA championship would be within our reach. But on the third game, I broke my left leg again. Without the strength of me, the Rockets were eliminated in the second game. The dream of going to the third game fizzled out. If only I hadn't been injured, I could have been a contender for the championship. Still, I held on to hope. I knew that one day I would be able to play to my full potential. But the recurring injuries continued to plague me. In 2011, I announced my retirement from the NBA. My career as an NBA player was not a spectacular one, but after I retired, I returned to my home country. Watching Mr. Yao Ming play gave me courage. I'm going to be an NBA player like Mr. Ming one day. Thank you for representing Asia so well. My success had given courage to basketball players in China and Asia. This is my greatest pride as a basketball player. I know that there will be many times in the future when you feel frustrated. But when you do, I want you to get up again and again, because I'm sure that your hard work will give courage to someone else. I don't think of playing in the NBA as some kind of national mission. It's just me, myself, Yao Ming.